In this video, I am going to discuss about the elements and compounds. There are millions of substances in this world, such as iron, aluminium, water, common salt, air, etc. They all are different from one another in their composition, properties, and uses. They are made up of different kinds of matter. They may be pure and impure. So first let's discuss about the pure substances, because I told you that I am going to discuss about the elements and elements and compounds are the two main parts of the pure substances. Clear? Because elements and compounds are pure substances. So first let's clear the concept of the pure substances. Pure substances have a definite set of properties like boiling point, melting point, density, etc. They are all homogeneous, that is, their composition is uniform throughout the bulk. Both elements and compounds are pure substances. Elements. Elements is a pure substance that cannot be converted further into anything simpler than itself by any physical or chemical process. Thus, each element has its own unique properties. For example, oxygen, hydrogen, sulfur, carbon, gold, silver, etc. Robert Boyle was the first scientist to use the term element in 1661. Anthony Laurent Lavoisier was the first to establish experimentally useful definition of an element. Elements are made up of extremely small particles called atoms which cannot be seen through naked eyes. They are the smallest unit of an element. So this is very important line, that which are the smallest unit of an element. The answer will be atoms. A piece of aluminium sheet contains only aluminium atoms, and oxygen molecules contain only atoms of oxygen. Atoms of oxygen and aluminium are different from each other. At present, 118 elements are known. Of these, 92 are natural elements and 26 have been artificially created. Some elements are solids, some are liquids, some are gases. In fact, elements are the basic pure substances from which millions of substances are made. Out of 118 elements known to us, some are radioactive in nature because they emit radiations which may be harmful. Now, classification of elements. Based on their properties, elements have been classified into first, metals, second, non-metals, third, metalloid, fourth, noble gases. So first let's discuss about the metals. Metals are opaque, lustrous elements that are good conductor of heat and electricity. Most metals are malleable and ductile and are in general denser than the other elemental substances. For example, gold, silver, clear, iron, they are what? They are the metals. Now I am going to discuss about the some metals, the facts of the some metals. Like the first one, chalk, milk and our bones contain a common metal, calcium. Chlorophyll contain which metal? Magnesium. And this magnesium helps to capture the energy from sunlight for photosynthesis by the plants. Then in mammals RBC is present, and in RBC which metal is present? Iron metal is present. Clear? So in mammals, iron is found in RBC, in hemoglobin, which carries oxygen in the body. Next is non-metal. Non-metal is an element that does not have the properties or characteristics of metals, including the ability to conduct heat or electricity, luster or flexibility. Example, hydrogen, oxygen, carbon, etc. Next is metalloids. Metalloid is an element that has property that are intermediate between those of metals and non-metals. Clear? So it means it carries some properties of metals as well as some properties of what? Non-metals. An example is boron, silicon, germanium, etc. Clear? Now, next is inert gases. Inert gases, how will you define inert gases? Elements which do not react chemically with other elements or compound are known as noble or inert gases. They are found in air in traces. In traces means in very small quantity. They are only 6 in numbers. And what are they? They are helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon and radon. Next is the compound. Compound is a pure substance formed by the chemical combination of two or more elements in a fixed ratio by mass. It can be broken down into simpler substances by only chemical means. The smallest unit of compound is molecule. I have discussed earlier that the smallest unit of element is atom, and same way the smallest unit of compound is a molecule. Common salt is a compound chemically known as sodium chloride that can be broken down into its constituent elements sodium and chlorine only by the chemical means. Another example of compound that is very common is water. Water can be broken down into more simpler substances, hydrogen and oxygen, from which it is formed. Because water is formed from which elements? Which? Hydrogen and oxygen. Clear? Next, characteristics of a compound. So the first characteristics of compound is the properties of compounds are entirely different from those of its constituent elements. For example, sodium. Sodium, when we talk about the sodium chloride, means common salt. Then in the sodium chloride, sodium is a highly reactive poisonous metal, while chlorine is greenish yellow gas. But the compound formed by the chemical combination of these two elements, that is what? Sodium chloride, known as common salt, and that is added to food and is completely safe to eat. Means what? Means the property of sodium chloride is entirely different from the properties of sodium and chlorine. Next characteristics of compound is compounds can be broken down into their constituent elements only by chemical means, not by physical means. Clear? Only chemical processes can be done to separate the constituents of the compound. Physically means what? When we use our hand to separate it, like mixture. When we take the mixture of the take any mixture like sand and water, stones. So then easily you can separate the stone from the sand. So this method is called as physical method. Next, compounds have fixed composition of their own. Yes, for example, water. Water, the formula of water is H2O. So here two atoms of water, hydrogen and one of oxygen. If we will change the composition, like if H2O2, if we will mix, then what will happen? It will not form a water, it will form a hydrogen peroxide. So in compounds, the composition is what? Fixed. Next, energy is either absorbed or liberated during the formation of a compound. Because compound, in how the formation of compound takes place through the process of a chemical process. Clear? So that is why in chemical process sometimes energy is absorbed, sometimes energy is liberated. So when energy is absorbed, it is called as endothermic reaction, and when energy is liberated, it is called as exothermic reaction. And compound is the result of reaction between the two elements or more than two elements. Next is a compound is represented by a definite chemical formula. Yes, like when we talk about the water, then there is a formula of water H2O. When we talk about the sodium chloride, there is a formula of NaCl. Clear? So in compound, what happened? We follow the definite chemical formula, and this is not possible in case of mixture, that I will discuss in the next video.